Run, river, run, run through the hills. Run, river, run to the sea. Run, river, run to your place beneath the sun. Run, river, run over me.
Hi, welcome to my guest. This is Jan Lewis, your host. Today we have Zenaide Swenson with us, and she is the director of Andrew's Helpful Hands. It's helping families through bone marrow transplants. And the event that Zenaide is having is on July 29th this year, and she's going to tell us about it. We're getting this on very quickly because we haven't got a lot of time left. Welcome, Zenaide.
Thank you very much.
She found us here, and it didn't downpour on you coming. Yesterday's guest, I mean, it was like hail the size of small golf balls.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, one girl sat out in the car out here like...
I ain't going in.
Zenaide, when did you found this group, the Andrew's Helpful Hands?
So our organization was actually founded by my brother, John. He's the founder, and that it became an official 501c3 in April 2001. So, and what we did is our son at that time was still alive, and he's the one basically who had asked us to...
How old was he, Zenaide?
When he passed?
At that point when you started?
When we started, he was almost 7.
Yeah.
Yep. So, and he passed shortly thereafter. But he got to see his organization going. So,
yeah.
And he got to attend the very first fundraiser that we did for. It happened to be a Hudson family, and so he got to do that part, which was great. And
did he go to Children's up in Boston?
He did. So he was up in Boston Children's, and we were there for almost 7 months. So, because my Andrew was really unique. So,
yeah,
you know, anything.
Yeah. What form of leukemia did he have?
He had ALL, which is acute lymphoblastic leukemia, and it's typical childhood leukemia.
Mm-hmm.
And he had the good leukemia, is what they told us, because it was supposed to be easily cured.
But it wasn't this time.
Not this time. So, because my Andrew was special. So.
How many years ago was this?
Oh my gosh, that was, so Andrew's been gone, it'll be 15 years this July.
Mm-hmm.
We've ran his organization for a total of 16,
mm-hmm.
and transplants and all of that part of it was a year and a half previous, so about 18 years now.
Did he have the transplant?
He did.
He did?
Yeah, he had a bone marrow transplant in 99,
mm-hmm.
and our donor, who is like our southern brother now, basically, there was only one donor out of the whole world that he matched our Andrew, and he's from North Carolina, and we became really close friends. And
did he drive up to Boston? Or?
No, so his marrow flew up for us to have the transplant, which is very anticlimactic. It's crazy because we didn't know back then, and we're just like, oh my gosh, what is this going to be like? And it was literally just it looked like a bag of platelets. That's all it was. Yeah. And I'm like, that's it? That's the bone marrow transplant? Yeah. It's all that you have to do to get up to that point is what is just...
It's there's a blood. Let's see. There's when they take bone marrow from somebody.
Yep.
I heard that's a little painful.
So not really. So it used to be back in the day, but now it's basically I can do it 2 different ways now. Actually, they can do it by pheresis, which is just like when you give blood.
Oh, that's easy.
Yeah, it's just like that.
Yeah.
The difference is it does take. It can take up to 4 hours or so.
I can read.
Exactly, and they treat you like kings and queens while you're there.
Can you eat?
You can eat, you can watch movies, you can read books. They take care of you while you're there because some people, they can process it pretty quickly. Yeah. But it's basically, you got a needle in one arm, it's going through a processor, it's taking only the stem cells, and then through the other arm, it's giving you back all your reds and whites again. It is amazing. It's amazing.
And the other one, though, don't they go into the bone?
Yep, so they'll go into your largest flat bone, which is usually your hip bone. And it's very small needle. The procedure takes about 10-15 minutes. The longest recovery period is usually just the anesthesia.
Yeah. And
you leave there with a Band-Aid.
Is it all-out anesthesia or just sedation?
Sedation.
Ugh. I'm the type I want either to be all out or all in.
Oh.
You know, I think I'd go for the 4-hour job.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that
And they
appeals to
give
me.
you snacks and they give you drinks.
Yeah.
And
This was up at Children's, right?
yeah, you can do it at any donor center. Can take that out for you. Yeah.
Now, you started the group, and after Andrew passed, you carried it on.
Yeah.
And how many families have joined you?
So as of right now, as of beginning of January, we've helped 52 families. So, and it's pretty amazing because we're 100% nonprofit.
Yeah.
And there's no salaries, there's nothing, everything's done out of our house. So what happened is Andrew was supposed to, be here with us,
Sure.
and he's not, so we actually turned his room, became our office, so which is appropriate.
That's a tribute.
Yeah, so.
I was sharing with Zenaide that my grandmother, I was just a kid in my teens, and I don't know, she was somewhere between, I don't know, maybe 70, 80, I don't really remember. And she had diabetes, but that did not take her. She was doing fine with that.
Yeah.
They discovered she had a childhood form, the doctor said, of leukemia.
Yeah.
And they said, just take her home. We thought we had 6 months. So we set up my father's den. We got a call. She never came home from the hospital. She just went so quickly. But this was back in the 60s. So you're thinking that, by today's standards, she might very well be alive.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. The amount of research and the changes that they make is just amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, one example is my Andrew. We did clinical trials with my Andrew because at the end, you're going to do what you're going to do.
Sure.
And we ended up doing a clinical trial that actually he was the first child, or actually the first human under the age of 65 that they did the trial in, and he obviously survived that portion of it.
Yeah.
But now that clinical trial drug is actually a standard
Now
that is just normal protocol for the kids when they're going through treatment.
How long was he in Children's? Or was it back and forth?
So during transplant itself, we were there it was almost 7 months.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
He lived there for 7 months.
Yeah, so that was our house, that was our second house, and all of our hallways and stuff, that was our neighborhood, and we got to meet everybody in the neighborhood, and he was like the little mayor because, he knew, we'd been there so long that he knew everything.
He knew
and
the
stuff.
other kids?
Yeah, he knew the other kids, and many times new kids came in, and he was pretty funny. He would say, when this nurse comes in, be careful, you do what she says.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, he
really
could,
behaved.
yeah.
Well, now the event you have coming up,
Yeah.
Andrew's Memorial Jam.
Yes.
But it's called Andrew's Helpful Hands, though, right?
Is our organization.
Okay, can we just kind of focus in on this? Did you design the sign?
I did. Yes.
This is quite a sign. As we go along, there's an evening of amazing all-star musicians, fun and fundraising, rock the night away.
Yeah.
At the Royal Trade Plaza Center in Marrow.
Yep.
Now,
Admission is
$40, right?
Yep.
General.
Yep, for general.
And 100 VIP, what does that mean?
So the VIP area is you obviously pay more, but you're going to have catering, food is going to be available.
Okay.
And the really good thing is, like, when you're in concerts, you have to stand in line forever to get a drink. So the VIP section will also end up having their own waitresses.
Oh.
So it'll be, and then they also get little swag bags, just little thank you bags for different items that'll be in there.
So $40. Now we are now at July 13th. We're going to get this on as soon as possible.
Yeah.
What is the cutoff to have the $40?
We're actually not going. You can do it all the way to the day of. If it's at the door, we're going to charge $50.
Okay, what is a 120?
And that's at the door. It would be $120 for the VIP.
And everybody's welcome.
Everyone.
Children too, with their families?
Oh yeah. So my son loved music, and because we lived there so long, he had a lot of other issues going on with his lungs and stuff, so we had to keep him moving.
Yeah.
And basically all day long we listened to different kinds of music, and if it was a good day, we would be listening to fun rock music and wiggling about, and just to get him to move, because he needed to move. And then bad days.
Was it like COPD at all?
And I wouldn't really say that. I think it's just because of lack of movement and being so sick and
bedridden and all that.
Bedridden, yeah. We had to do exercise with him at in the bed, and we ended up, like, one thing we did is we ended up getting a button making machine.
A button making?
Yeah.
You mean the kind that like a
squish?
Yeah.
To make, so we ended up making, getting that for him because that would help him with strength with his muscles.
Right.
And he got to design tons of them and,
give them out to the other kids.
And we gave out thousands of them. So thousands of it. But it was fun because kept him busy, kept him moving, and it was just fun. And the other kids that came would love to get something.
Zenaide, are people interested in this occasion?
Yeah. How
can they reach you if they have questions?
So they can call me at 978-375-3704. You can go through our website. You can go through our Facebook page. You can order tickets right on our Facebook page. We have a shop. And on the page you'll see it'll have the two little inventory items, which one is the general admission ticket and the other one is the VIP ticket. So call me, look me up, I don't care, just get to me.
We're talking with Zenaide Swenson, and she is the director of Andrew's Helpful Hands, and they help families dealing with bone transplants. This is a wonderful fundraiser, and the money will go where?
So the money goes, 100% of the ticket money, it goes to our families. This is how we're able to start making the payments.
Can they, medical payments, and does it also pay for them to live somewhere up in Boston or wherever they are to be near the child?
Nope. So what we pay for, we don't pay for any of that. We pay for 100% of their mortgage payment or their rent.
Wow.
For a full year. So 12 months from the time that the child goes to what they call preconditioning,
sure.
So which is the week before your actual transplant.
Yeah.
From the time the doctor says that this is when they're going in, right up until the 1 year anniversary, because a lot of the kids, it takes just about a year for them to be able to get back in public because they'll have a brand new immune system. There's obviously bone marrow transplant is something extremely serious, so there's complications along the way, and to get everything balanced off. And
did Andrew have radiation and chemo or just chemo?
Oh, everything.
He had. Oh, he went through the ringer.
Oh, everything. Yeah.
How brave was he?
He was amazing.
Very?
Yeah. So he originally was diagnosed with leukemia at the age of 2.
Yeah.
And so obviously at his level, we explained what was happening and what we needed to do. And we went through, we did the whole protocol, which was 2.5 years. And he literally had taken out his CVL, his port, which is where you get all your meds and stuff. We had just taken that out. He got to play for literally a week or so, back with mud and frogs and all that stuff, because he loved that stuff. And then he relapsed. So
when they relapse, what happens?
The cancer comes back.
But are there any signs, symptoms?
So in Andrew's case, the way he relapsed was actually testicular cancer. So what they say is that obviously doing all the treatments, they're trying to get the whole thing into remission and hidden, but occasionally there's that one cell that hides, and it usually will hide in the weakest part of the body. For boys or men is the testes, and then for women is usually the armpits or the breast area. So
I never knew that.
Yeah.
How would a little boy like that know about where it had landed?
Oh, well,
the doctor checks?
No, I checked.
You knew.
So I was giving him a bath one day, and then I noticed that something was wrong, and I thought, because he was so happy to not have a line anymore, that he was just being a crazy little monkey and, doing everything a typical little one would do. And I thought maybe he pulled his groin because he was, wrestling with his brother.
Was there like a lump, a tumor?
Yeah, it was a tumor. So
they had to take that out.
So they actually did that with radiation.
Okay.
So, and here's the funny part is, so we did chemotherapy the first time. Then when he relapsed is when we had to do radiation to that area.
Sure.
And my poor little guy says to me, he goes, "Mommy, we really should have just done radiation. This is so much easier." And I'm like, oh goodness, if you only
what
knew.
A trooper.
Yeah. He was amazing, though. He really was. Even during, when he was little, he was 2. So about maybe 3 years old, we used to have treatments. The first time, all of our treatments were done at Worcester. At
In UMass. Yep, they're great.
Amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Amazing.
Down on the B
amazing.
level, right?
Actually, we were up in
the children's
unit is
okay.
upstairs in the 5th floor. So we were up there. But it was like when we used to do, he had to have bone marrow aspirations just to test, make sure.
Sure.
This is before the relapse. And he taught I think, how old was Corey? I think Corey was probably 11 years old. He taught him how to get into spinal position. He's like, Corey, you have to do it this way because then it doesn't hurt as much. So
I know they tried to do a spinal tap on me one time. It really wasn't necessary, thank God, in the long run.
Yeah.
My husband was sitting there, and I'd just gone to the doctor that day. Said, well, let's try it. Let's do it.
Yeah.
I couldn't take it. I really, honest to God, could not. You get on your side,
right
and I put up with it as long as I could, and then I started really yelling.
Yeah.
I was not prepared for it. What can they do to make this more human, more
Yeah.
humane for people?
I don't think they've done it yet.
How do people get through it? I don't know.
Breathe.
They'd have to give me an
That's it.
epidural just to get through that.
Yeah, and I think there are some places now, and I've been out of that portion for a while, but I think that you can get a portion of an epidural. I know, like with my Andrew, they used to give him, we called the loopy medicine, to just get him to kind of relax. And
Did he feel it though?
he would feel it sometimes, and he would tell the nurses and stuff, but we love our Helen was our nurse, and
yeah.
oh my God, she was amazing. And it was the funniest thing is when he got on the loopy medicine,
Yeah.
and he got ready, and we're like, all right, buddy.
He's happy.
Yep. So he became just a little love bug. So he would end up talking, and he's like, I'm getting in spinal position. I'm like, all right, buddy. And then he'd look up at Helen, and he goes, I just love you. And he used to say that to her all the time.
I'm sure
It was
she
so
appreciated
funny.
every minute of it.
Yeah, she did.
Now,
She was
if
amazing.
this was 15 years ago, and Andrew was 7,
Yeah,
that means he would be 22 today.
correct.
My son is only 3 years older than he is.
Oh.
So
yeah.
while he was born in 92, Andrew was 95?
Yep.
Was he born at Memorial?
No, he was born in Framingham, actually.
Framingham. Yeah, definitely. They're in the same generation. Do you have
Yeah.
other children at home?
I do, thank God. I have my oldest, my Jonathan.
How old is
and
Jonathan?
He just turned 24.
Oh, well, you're younger than mine?
So, yeah. So he just turned 24, just graduated college.
Oh, you're
so
lucky. What did he major in?
In mechanical engineering.
Oh, he's a brain.
Oh, he is a brain. He's a good boy.
Yes, he did know his brother.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the thing with that was that everyone's like, oh, you probably sent Jonathan away and stuff. I'm like, no, I wanted 2 children, so my 2 kids stayed together.
Definitely.
And through the hospital and everything. And
He was tough? Or did he not understand?
he had a hard time. So,
Yeah.
but he was a good boy, and we tried not to do anything that would be special in the sense that, our goal was that Andrew was going to grow up to be a wonderful young man.
Yeah.
So I remember many times when, if the 2 of them were fighting or being fresh and stuff,
Sure.
we're in a, what do you call it? I can't think of the word. It's just a small, room that is
Yeah.
segregated, quarantined per se.
Sure.
And, you had to be careful. And it's like, but if they started fighting and stuff, you go to the corner, you go to your bed, and
Yeah.
that's all there is to it,
2 years apart.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
They were best buddies.
They were the best.
Best buddies.
Okay, we're talking with Zenaide Swenson, and she is the director of Andrew's Helpful Hands. And it's for families helping them who are going through the marrow transplant challenge. And this upcoming event is going to be on July 29th, 2017, in Marrow at the Royal Plaza Trade Center,
Yep.
and it is at 181 Boston Road,
Post Road.
West, right?
Yeah,
Marlboro.
west in
I've been
Marlboro.
by that a lot of times. It's, I
Yeah.
think right on.
Yeah.
That's Route 20.
Route
isn't it?
20.
Just
It's right on 20.
Right on 20.
Yep.
It's not far from where you are in Hudson either.
No, not at all.
So is it going to be, if people go,
Yep.
do they go in the front door, and is there, I think I've been in there, is there a huge event room somewhere?
Oh yes, it's 40,000 square feet.
think
So
I've been
it's
there.
gigantic.
Okay.
So I'm hoping and praying that we can get that full, because obviously being a Memorial year, I always want to make a huge impact during the Memorial years anyway. But I'm hoping it'll be really packed, and I mean we have amazing bands that are going to be there for us.
Will there be some refreshments?
Oh yeah. So there's all kinds of refreshments, concession stands. We'll have the typical raffles, all kinds of fun stuff. We're having an event shirt made up, so that design's going to be on T-shirts if you want to buy a T-shirt. And then in the back is the typical where we'll have our sponsors will be listed on the
Will
back.
Andrew's face be on there?
I do not put Andrew's face on there because I have a problem if someone throws it away.
Yeah, that would be tough.
So,
Definitely, yeah.
his handprint, that's his handprint. His handprint's on everything, so.
That's his handprint. And you designed
I did
the
design
heart
that.
with it, and that was his little hand.
Yeah.
Zenaide, do you have a support group going on for families who are going through this?
So I have a lot of people that will call me direct, and because I've gone through it, I help them out as much as I can. There's a lot of support that they can get through the different hospitals too.
Yeah.
But the most important is just teaching them that it's okay to, to call uncle, because it's a lot that you're going to go through.
Definitely.
A lot.
So how can they reach you again, Zenaide? Can you let them know?
Everyone can get a hold of me directly, texting at 978-375-3704. Or you could go through our webpage, which is andrewshelpfulhands.org, and I've got a mailing address, email address that you can click on there, or go through our Facebook page and you can get a hold of me through there. And our Facebook is facebook.com/andrewshelpfulhands. So many ways.
Zenaide, what would you, the families out there watching, grandparents knowing, just finding out that one of their grandchildren needs the bone marrow transplant, it's almost like, is it like the shock and then you get through it? What is the first feeling of it?
Yeah, the first, so I swear I had an out-of-body experience when they told us the extent of it. And you just fear. I just can't even explain it. It's just the fear of, how are we going to get through this? How are they going to get through it?
The child,
how can we help them? Because that's our goal. That's what we do as parents, is try to make life for our kids as best as we can. And how am I going to talk to him and tell him the things he's got to do and that he has to do, even though
he doesn't want to do
he doesn't want to.
Were there support groups at Boston Children's for you to go to during this?
I think they had them available, but I didn't take advantage of it at the time. And we did good. We did all right.
I could see you running a support group like that. But you're in touch with how many? You said about 50? About 50?
We have 52 families as of just January.
And they're going through it right now?
No, they've gone through it through the years. So we only have one family that we're helping right now, and they're from Braintree. So the thing with us is we only help Massachusetts family because we're so small. We're just out of my house, 100% volunteers. So we can only help in Massachusetts. And the family we're helping right now, Caitlin is 2.5. She's going to be 3. And they're from Braintree. And she is actually, her 1-year anniversary will be September. So she's back to being home, but the thing is these kids, they have to keep going back. In the beginning, so the first 6 months practically, you're in there 3-4 times a week.
Is the McDonald's house still there?
It is, yeah.
Can you stay there?
You can. It depends on availability and all that stuff. So they do have awesome options like that, and the pay is nothing compared to having to stay in a hotel and stuff.
I know they used to have Hope Lodge in Worcester. I had designed some art things for the patients. And it closed down. We just had a gentleman on who had worked there for years.
Oh, I didn't know they were closed.
And he was a survivor of cancer himself. But they just kind of just closed. They've got it going on in Boston still, or that area. For some reason, which I can't figure it out, because you've got UMass right here, and that's really, other than going to Boston, this is the tops, in my opinion, you're going to get.
Oh gosh, I loved Worcester. Worcester, UMass was wonderful to my Andrew, and
they've got the children's center there.
Oh gosh, the care there. I mean, I can never say enough about nurses. Nurses are amazing, and They
Even the
have
emergency
heart.
room. They have
Yeah.
a children's emergency room
Yeah.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
my-
mean, they're amazing. Just
Yeah,
amazing.
I was telling a woman about that recently. She said, "Oh, I didn't know that." She thought you had to wait out in the waiting room with all the grown-ups. They're like, "No, you
No.
can go right into the little room
The
there
little
and
ones, yeah.
be by yourself."
I love UMass.
Oh.
One of our other nurses, Lisa, was a primary care nurse, and oh my God, love her.
At Worcester?
Yeah, and we're still friends, and she comes to our events, and we still go hang out and stuff like that. Which, as sad as all of this turned out for us, it's still okay because lots of good has come from it. We've
Yes.
met lots of wonderful people. We've helped lots of wonderful people. Amazing relationships that we've been able to keep, and that's isn't
That's
that what-
tops. And it's
that's
a
life.
tribute to Andrew, and it's like he's never gone.
Exactly.
He's right there.
Oh yeah.
So this event is coming up. We know it's July 29th. What day of the week is that tonight?
It's a Saturday.
Saturday. Okay.
So no
What-
reason. Everyone can be there.
Okay. What time does it start?
Doors open at 4.
At 4.
Yep, and the bands, so Itchy Onion starts playing at 4, and then Young Other will be playing right after them.
Okay.
Our Usual Suspects in the Allens, they're really huge in this area. Everybody knows them. They're awesome musicians.
Okay.
And then our headliner is actually based out of Las Vegas.
Do you have a guest speaker?
No.
No. Okay. So
I'm it.
okay, that's good. So you come in and you listen to the bands and you eat, and then you're going to speak.
Yep. So as the day goes through, I'll just be welcoming everyone, and and in between bands, as new bands come on, I do what I do, which is get everybody wiggling and,
Right.
and having fun, and mention don't forget why you guys are here, and then introducing the main band and all that stuff, and
This is so fun.
thanking everyone for.
I'm glad
for
I could
coming.
get you in
I am
because I
too.
know it's coming up quick, July 29th. Helping families through bone marrow transplants. Andrew's Helpful Hands. And Andrew was Zenaide's son. He still is. And he passed away 15 years ago.
Correct.
And did he go, how do I say this, peacefully with his parents?
Oh yes, absolutely. So he ended up in May is when they told us that we needed to make him comfortable, do whatever we needed to. So he was home.
He was home.
Yeah.
Did you have hospice at all?
We did.
We did.
Yeah.
Let's see, when's his birthday?
So his birthday is July 27th.
Oh.
He passed away July 28th, and our event is July 29th.
No wonder. And you
Yeah.
I think it was July 29th.
Yeah.
July 29th. And he passed away the 28th.
The 28th, and the event is the 29th.
Yeah, 29th.
So it's just all right there.
Do you do this every year?
No, this one, because it's a memorial year, it's a 15th year anniversary,
Okay.
is why we're doing this one.
And you and your whole family will be there?
Oh yeah.
And hopefully lots of
And
other
lots
families.
and lots of people. And one of the things I wanted to find out is I would love to, if anyone was hearing us here, if you ended up calling me, texting me, emailing me, whichever you wanted to do, and saying that you heard us on Be My
You
Guest,
saw the show? Yeah.
and that you saw the show, we will cut the price to $20.
Oh, do you hear that?
Yeah.
That's
I
helpful
think-
to families.
And that's what I'm thinking. I'd
Yeah.
love to just get people there to have a really good time
Yeah.
and know what we're about. And
Definitely. Well,
So-
it's a good thing you did this, and Andrew was
Yeah.
still alive, and he knew it was becoming a success.
Yeah.
And he's only, what was it? We said 3 years younger than my own son.
Yeah.
They were, only
Yeah,
and then your
yeah.
other son will be there too.
Oh, actually, my other son won't be there, which he's really mad at me, but he's going to be at a wedding with his girlfriend.
Oh, okay.
So he's going to
Yeah.
be out of state, and he's like, "What?" And I'm like, "No, that's
One more time, Zanita, how can they reach you?
Give me a call at 978-375-3704. Contact me on my webpage or on my Facebook page. Just get a hold of me. I'll take care of you.
Well, you're doing a great thing.
Thank you.
And we're going to have you on again to
Oh,
get
I'd
more
love
word
that.
out about this, okay?
I'd appreciate
You're going to do it
that.
every year, right?
We're planning on going forward.
This is the first year?
Yeah.
This was the first.
This is the first because it's the 15th year
Boy,
anniversary.
this is going to be a really big fun trial balloon.
Yeah, I can't wait. I just can't
You're
wait. It'll be
psyched,
so
I can
fun.
tell.
Yeah.
You're psyched.
I
Thank
gotta
you for
wiggle.
sharing this with us.
Thank you so much for having me,
You're
Jan.
welcome.
And so quickly.
I know.
can't believe how quickly
I
you got
squished you
me.
in. I said, somebody had canceled. They had to reschedule. I went, wait a minute. We've got to
See, everything happens for a reason.
Yes, it does.
It does.
All right.
So,
Thank you. We'll see you next time and Be My Guest.